everyone. So good to see you again. Today I have Tess Vergara with us for our soul-powered conversations. And this is really where we just come along. We talk about anything to get all of us as coaches and change makers really into our soul power. You as the leaders and the people working with the leaders as well are the ones to lead us through the next levels of evolution that our whole world goes through. So today, and this is because this is one special area of Tess's, of course, is around soul-powered chakra energy work. Tess and I were just having a discussion about this before we came on, about how your chakras are not this woo-woo thing. Your chakras are these centers of energy, each one for a different factor. And it's not only for personal well-being, but it's for your business success and well-being as well. And so when these energy centers are weak or lowered, it can affect your success or how you're feeling about your coaching and change making business, for starters. And then on the other hand, when they feel strong and powerful, you yourself will feel strong and powerful and clear, and that you are really, really creating what it is that you are here to create in this world. But if you feel lost or directionless, or things aren't coming together for you, those energy centers within these areas that we call chakras, something will be amiss there. And that's why Tess has got this amazing program coming up very, very soon. It is the last days to get in on it with Soul Powered Chakra, and where she will teach you around those energy centers and how to work with them to shift how you might be feeling into something much, much stronger through those energy centers. And the interesting thing about the chakras is that each particular energy center works with a different sort of dimension, doesn't it, Tess? And that's the fascinating bit too, that we can actually hone in and pinpoint which areas need the work or the enhancement, or to get them more soul-powered. And that's what we're going to look at today, Tess, is how we can intuitively hone in and know what areas we need to strengthen or work on, which areas are weaker for us, which areas are stronger, because it does all matter in sense of, our life, our purpose, our rest, our recreation, our businesses, what we're here to do as coaches and change makers. So thank you so much, Tess, for joining us on Soul Powered Conversation as well. What I will do too, I'm going to keep on the eye on the phone as well, because if you are joining it is here as a conversation. If anyone would like to, and it's not going to, I think it would be actually gorgeous, and it's going to be a little bit like Clubhouse in this essence. You can either sit back and watch us live and interact with us in the conversations there, just throwing something a little bit different out, just came to mind, Tess, and I thought, why not? Let's do it. Me, spur of the moment. So you can either sit back, watch us live here on Facebook, and join in the conversations in the comments underneath it, because I will be watching. I do have the phone here, and I'll switch that on and I'll be able to see any comments. Or because Tess and I are here in my Zoom room, I'll stick that link up in a minute after I let Tess have a little bit of floor. I'll put the link up, and then, if you are wanting to come in and join us in having conversations and stream you live, just like they do on Clubhouse, by all means, just hop in. I'll see your request to join us here in the Zoom room, and you can come and join us live and interact with us live in the conversation in the Zoom room here, since it is Soul Powered Conversations, and we are talking about the chakras. And I know Tess is going to lead us through a little bit of a demo, so that we can work with her on how we can intuitively work out which of our energy centers are probably a little bit weaker and which ones are really strong. So you have a good idea of where you may need to strengthen yourself. So I'll put that link there for the Zoom room. If you want to come in and join us in the conversation and interact and ask questions or have just a conversation with us, that's what it's about. I'm going to open the floor. If you want to come in, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens, Tess.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do
Jody, come on in. Hi. Jill
So
is
I was
there
thinking,
too.
if anyone knows the link that we use for the Zoom room, which the Brilliance girls and the Spotlight Academy girls will know, and guys, of course, if you know if you know it, by all means, just jump in with us if you want. Or, as I said, you can quite happily just watch and view and use the comments in the Facebook there as well to interact with us. All right, I'm going to hand the floor over to Tess, and she will talk a little bit more about the chakras and how they affect us with our business and our personal lifestyles as well. And then we'll talk a little bit more, Tess, about intuition. If you'd like to come in and join with us, I'm going to find that link and stick it there in Facebook.
I can do it. I have it. Do you want me to?
If you would like to put it there in the comments, that would be perfect.
Yep. There you go. It's in the comments. I just posted it. Yay.
So anyone who wants to come in and join in on the conversation with us and have real-time conversations with us rather than the one that's got the delay of several minutes, I reckon.
Love it. Yeah, we can have. Well, yeah. Okay. So, hello everyone. Oh, it's great to be back here. Always energizes me when I'm here. And we're focusing on intuition. Oh my goodness, intuition. How do we use our intuition to connect with our chakra? Well, what's your relationship first with intuition? Do you have a stronger relationship with fear, or do you have a stronger relationship with intuition? Because sometimes fear can look like or can feel like intuition, but it's really a self-sabotage. What's your comment on that?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking, after I said it, I was thinking some people are a lot more in tune with their intuition, aren't they, than other people who...
In this group, I think a lot of intuitive, hello Jody, there's a lot of intuitives in our group. And so if you've really honed in on the intuition, you can actually connect with each of the chakras, right? But if you have unresolved issues, that is keeping you out of alignment, out of balance, out of whack, then chances are you're more attached to fear and protection, protecting yourself, or making it look like you're all put together, even though deep inside you're not, like, oh my God, I just got to do this. I just got to do this. I just got to do this kind of energy, where you're bypassing your intuition. Then come to the course. That's what it's all about. Come to the course, come to the 7-week journey back to wholeness, because what we're going to do is really aligning that so that you trust you, so that your intuition is on fire all the time. And the one thing that I can tell you right now is you got to learn to trust yourself. Do I want a cup of coffee? You do not say, oh, you don't list all those rationalizations why you shouldn't have a cup of coffee or you should have a cup of coffee. You just trust it. I want a cup of coffee, dang it, and I'm going to have it. And feel automatically the trust between you and you gets stronger. So have that relationship with your intuition first, and then you can tune in to your energy. How are you feeling, right? Because sometimes the feeling gets distorted when there's old information in that feeling, right? It's all unresolved emotions. It's all heavy emotion that's clogging up actually your chakras, right? So that's why you cannot see what your vision is. You cannot speak your truth, right? You have all these ideas, but you cannot bring it because you get blocked right here, right? Because then when you go to this level, all the emotions, all the negative charge from the past, they come, they get you, right? So we cannot physicalize into our root what it is that we want because the emotions are blocking it.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
And I've seen that. I'm watching that happening right now, playing out in front of me with a few people that I actually know. It is exactly what you're describing, what's happening. I just want to say, Jody, welcome. I'm glad you decided to come in us a la Clubhouse and and join us. Jody, you're here for a conversation, so by all means, whenever you want to jump in and add something or ask a real life time question with Tess, or just add your own insights, please do. So I'm so glad that you decided to jump in and stream live with us, Jody.
Welcome, Jody. So, yeah, so intuition and fear. So, where are you more attached to? Fear, protection, right? Getting all your ducks in a row, or are you feeling more in tune with your energies so that you trust yourself, you trust the universe, you trust the world, that you are safe in the world and that you are nurtured, by earth, right? So all these things not going to happen overnight if you have that relationship with fear that, oh, I gotta have this perfectly done, I gotta have my t's crossed and my i's dotted, right? So those are all, I wouldn't say not necessarily fear based, but they're programmed habituations that has us leaning towards the fear of judgment, the fear of messing up, the fear of missing out. So those are all fears, right? Fear of criticism, fear of being canceled, right? So there's so much of that happening. So without you and your intuition really tight, so that it's really oneness consciousness, that whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling, ooh, you got to honor that. So, um, are you there, Vanessa, or did I lose you?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm here. I'm here.
So, okay. So, exercise on intuition. Go
Yes,
ahead.
exercise on intuition. I was
First, you gotta.
it was something you and I were talking about just before, before we went live, and about this feeling of being scrambly. And that scrambly feeling where I think when you're feeling scrambly, you're starting to get slightly panicked about everything. Is my business working? Are people paying me any attention? Is this worth the effort? And there's that rise of panic and anxiety. When you're in that place, I can't imagine that accessing intuition is going to be very easy.
Not very easy. You're gonna keep doubting yourself, and when you doubt yourself, the intuition gets overridden. It's uh,
I absolutely
yeah.
find that. So if I'm at any place of feeling scrambly or worried or anxiety or concern, if I want to access my true inner knowing, I really need to completely calm myself. So trying to access intuition for me from that place is almost impossible. I literally have to completely calm myself. I don't know if that's the same for others. Jody, I'd be interested to hear what it's like for you when you feel you can send it. But for me, I can't access it, which from that scrambly, anxiety-ridden place, which is probably what you're talking about, Tess, the fear-ridden place. I need to be very calm to be
You
able
have
to.
to bring yourself to center,
Yes,
right?
yeah, and that takes conscious effort, and that's one thing that I kind of say, to access your intuition. I almost feel at times when you're in this good place, I think it just is very easy to do because it's just you're in the right place to receive it. But I think if you're out of whack, I think you have to make a real conscious effort to be able to tune in. I don't know how others are feeling, but that's for me. So if when I'm feeling really good, which I have been for quite a while now, it's super easy just to know. I use my intuition all the time about my kangaroos. Like, if one's missing, is it safe? Will it come home? And there's a calming and a groundness that comes that just lets me know the right answer. Jody, we'd love to hear your thoughts on how it come or how you work it, because I know this is one of the areas you love to be involved with as well. You just have to unmute yourself, Jodes. That good old mute button.
There we go. Yeah, I agree. And it can be really hard to try and control that scramble and try and get yourself to that centered place that Tess is talking about too. And I don't know about anyone else, but I've found that the breathing really helps you get back to that center stage, where then you can, as you say, take that calmness and then look into your intuition.
Yeah, breathing. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's just, I suppose it does mean slowing my breathing. I'm not focused on the breathing. I'm more focused on just the sense. But if breathing does it, and I do know a lot of people actually use the breathing techniques. So for anyone, those of you watching and you're wondering, how do I get to that place? You've heard the breathing. Tess is going to tell us more, obviously, and especially in tuning, using that intuition to tune into our chakras to see what's missing. So breathing is Jodie's technique. For me, it's just a feeling of just, and mine's actually about putting my feet in the ground. And even if I'm in my house, you know, it's not necessarily into the earth, but I actually feel them rooting down into the ground. So that's my little technique.
Yes.
Thank you, Jodie.
Yeah, you're welcome. I do the tree thing too. I tell my clients to be a tree.
Yeah, be a tree.
And then I also picked up on the word control. You do not want to control yourself. You can just feel it. Control, there's a part of you that will just revolt, right? You don't want to control. You want all parts of you to be working in alignment, in oneness, in synchronicity, right? Because if you push down one to control it, that means you're judging it as good, bad, right, or wrong, right? And then you automatically create that separation between you and you, between you and your intuition. And it's whenever you are in separation with yourself, feel the level of safety that some of the parts of you, we're multidimensional expressions of our one self, right? So you tell a child to shut up. You don't bring that attitude here. What does the child do, right? It'll kick and scream and show up in the last place that you want. That attitude, that bad attitude, it just shoots up because you cannot control, and control is really a term that suggests you don't feel safe, you don't feel protected, you are out of control. And also, Vanessa, that scattered scrambling, if you feel into the energy of it, it means you're all over the place. Your energy is not in alignment. So we always want to bring our energy in alignment. So one other technique that is coming up for me right now is, let's say you're in the grocery store, tune into what your body intelligence says. Let's say, ooh, do I want this apple? Ooh, do I want chocolate? And don't say, oh, I'm not going to have chocolate. Have that chocolate. Have that chocolate. Just so you know, on a deep, deep, deep level, you are standing 100% behind yourself. You are, I've got your back. I've got your back. You got to keep saying that to yourself until you no longer need the chocolate. Why? Because you trust you. And then your intuition starts building.
Yeah.
It's a scary process to trust you when all your life you've been denying yourself.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Trust in ourselves when, even with the guru culture, which everyone who works with me personally knows I'm not a massive fan of guru culture, and yet I do actually teach people how to build big audiences and get known. So it's a bit of a cross reference there, but it's interesting. I'm not actually a big fan of guru culture as such, but I do really like people being able to shine and have as many wonderful people who want to hear their words and buy their work as possible. So I always find with guru culture, we're taught to not listen to ourselves, but only trust what that guru is saying to us. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Tess. We've so been ingrained and indoctrined to trust listen to not ourselves, but we have to abide by our parents to begin with, and then the school, and then the religion, and then the politicians, and then the laws, and the police, and so it goes on and on and on and on. And so we're never actually really told to just listen to us, because we're always told to listen to some outside force. It's probably my aversion because of that, because I see that always, to the idea of guru culture.
Right.
I just want to point out to people too that are watching us, if you've noticed, this is actually Soul Powered Conversations. You can either watch us, as some of you are, from where you are there in your living room, and just join in, and by all means put chats in the comment there. We will be able to see them and we will respond. Or you can do what Jody has done and just pop in and have live conversations with us. Tess has put the link there to the Zoom room. So if you do want to actually pop in here and join in on the conversations with us live, you can. We're doing a little bit of a clubhouse thing here today for something a bit different. Or you can stay just viewing. Fly away bird. I know it just went scattering past. Or you can come join us in here, or as I said, keep watching us from there, and just use the comments if you would like to add to the conversation, because this is Soul Powered Conversation. And today Tess is going to talk about intuition, and using that intuition to know how we may be out of whack within those very, very distinct energy centers of ours, which many people refer to as the chakras.
Well, okay, so I have to comment on the guru one, right? Let's take a little bit further. For those who are so tuned in to their guides, to the angels, to whoever you're talking to in the universe, know that that is your higher expression. Because a lot of people are lost if their guides don't all of a sudden talk to them anymore, right? And so that's one of the things that was kind of hacked into me, because, you know, using the tarot, using this and that, the pendulum, they keep disappearing on me, because my higher self told me I need to trust my intuition and stop using, you know, testing your energy. You just gotta know, you just gotta practice that knowing. It's a gut feeling. I know it, I feel it in my bones. And so when you have a habit of constantly questioning yourself, is it right? Do I need to talk to Vanessa and get a tarot card reading? You know, it's good to have Vanessa and intuitives to guide you, to reinforce, to validate what you already know.
Yeah, reinforcement of what you already know.
Yeah. But to depend,
yeah, you can't.
You know,
I always find that, you know, whether you're speaking to your angels and your higher guides, or whether you are using the pendulum, or whether you're using your tarot deck or whatever, and I know when I do the tarot readings, I know that every time I do a reading for someone, without fail, they'll always say, that's what I was thinking. It's good to have it confirmed. It's always the extension of their higher self, because they were already thinking that, you know, they were already being led towards that. And in some way, they just needed that self-assurance, which is interesting, because I'm pretty good at tapping into my intuition. But sometimes I do like just to pull out the cards and have that bit of confirmation. So I think sometimes that's going to happen to us. But I do think, Tess, you've got a great point there. If you are just continuously relying on one of those sources, then I think you probably have to just leave it alone for a while and just learn to just trust you as well.
And then if you want to expand on what you already know and get more guidance, yes, use all the tools. But you got to start with self-trust. You got to start with really honoring yourself, and not depend, because things, places, and events are going to happen to betray us, as long as our source is out there in the external. So there's always going to be betrayal happening. It's going to look like, the rug is pulled underneath you. And it's always a lesson to trust yourself, to know that you are enough, to know that you are one with source, to know that you are one with the universe, whatever it is, whatever languaging you want to use. Your higher self, higher being, inner being, intuition, that's you too. The angels, they're a higher vibration, yes, but that is the goal. Right? So they show up because they are you too. So
So
what
how
do you
do
think of
we
that, Jody?
use our intuition in a way that benefits, like to tune into our chakras? If you were going to lead us to how to do that, how do we actually do it? Is it like a scan, or how do you use it?
Yes, for me it's scanning, feeling for discomfort. Again, if you trust your body
Mm-hmm.
and not making your body wrong, it will tell you, right? But if you are in a habit of shaming your body, do you think your body will tell you? It's the shame talk that will. So let's go and take a deep breath and just clear anywhere that we have separation from our body, from our mind, from our spirit, from our soul, and just let them go. And plant your feet firmly on the ground, and feel you're sitting down or you're standing up, but just feel the strength, the support of the floor or of the chair or the bed if you're lying down, and just feel that strength, that support, that no matter what you do, you cannot possibly mess anything up. And so if you're coming from that foundation, you've obliterated doubt. You've obliterated questioning your intuition. So just feel that knowingness just by planting your feet firmly on the ground, that you are always safe. Just have that knowing. And if you're feeling uncomfortable with that idea, at least allow the idea that you are fully supported and that you are never alone. And now feel from your feet, like your feet is elongating. It's like roots going down to the core of the earth. And just really grab the core of the earth and feel the root deeply rooted, and really ground yourself. And feel all the nurturing from Mother Earth coming up through your feet, through your legs, through your hips, through your heart. And open up your heart. Breathe. And open up your crown chakra, the top of the head, and like open it up so that your higher self insights, higher perspectives just come down, flowing down to you, meeting where the earth is, into your heart. And again, the heaven is saying you cannot possibly mess anything up. So this is a bridge of heaven and earth, fully supported and fully guided. Tune into your chakras, starting with the root chakra. That's where the tailbone is. That's where fear resides. So coming from absolute certainty that you are safe and protected, that the divine energy, pure source consciousness is in you, as you, flowing through you. Just feel if there's anything, if fear has any power over you. Feel into that. And then feel in your body, anywhere that your creativity is stuck, any ideas that you have and you cannot just birth it into the world. Just feel into it without judgment. And if you are feeling any imbalance or fear, just notice it without judgment. Just be aware whether it's feeling strong or weak. And allow your intuition, allow your divine being to tell you what might be out of control, what might be something already in you that you already know that you just have to take action on. And come up to your belly area where your solar plexus is, and this is the seat of your power, and just activate that, because those three together, where you're feeling secure in the world, where your creativity is activated, where your personal power is activated, feel the strength, feel how grounded you are, feel how strong you are, feel how you can survive in the world. And use your intuition to check in. What's blocking me from fully opening up to my power? Am I holding myself back? Do I even know my power? So just check in. And if you're listening in to the derogatory language, like self-criticism, that's not your intuition. Your intuition feels reassuring, feels empowering. So anywhere that you feel like contracted or resistant or hesitant, that means you are shrinking from your power. And so bring in the energy of the earth and the energy of the divine, and then open up, allow. At least open up to a new perspective and bring in your intuition again. And you can do all that through your heart chakra. I'm feeling a lot of heaviness in the heart chakra. Maybe a lot of unforgiveness for yourself. Maybe a lot of guilt. To work through all those unresolved emotions. And again, allow the earth to strengthen you and your higher self to come through. And activate your intuition so that you know exactly what to do to resolve any emotions that haven't been dealt with, but you've been working so hard and not taking care of your own well-being. You can no longer bypass your spiritual alignment, your emotional alignment. As leaders, as new wave leaders, we are being asked to lead the world, to lead from the heart. So you have to take care of that, any unresolved emotions. Anywhere going through the throat chakra, anywhere you're not speaking up the truth and not allowing your voice to come through just to keep peace in the family or keep peace at work, not to rock the boat, that's going to come and bite you somewhere. That's where the separation is. That's where the scrambling is. You're making the lower chakras work harder for you, but it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy and it can be flowy. Once you activate all your chakras, your third eye too, open it up, your crown chakra, open it up. So use your intuition to feel if there's heaviness, if there's contraction, if there's lightness, if there's joy. You can tune into those feelings and notice without judgment. And then open up to higher perspective too, so that when you go to bed tonight, when you wake up in the morning, you just know exactly what to do to serve you in your highest. Because when you serve you in your highest, you serve your clients at their highest too, for their highest. It's not selfish at all to serve you first and allow the universe to serve you, allow the earth to serve you, allow God to serve you. Isn't that amazing? It's preposterous, right? To allow God to serve you. But by allowing God to serve you, you are also serving God. No separation. There you go. Come back to the room. And bless everyone around you. Bless the dog who's barking.
I've got the cat at the door that I'm going to go and run and let in at the moment. I can hear her. Jody, I'd love, while I run and do the cat, just what you felt through when you did that scan. And then I'll, and anyone, those of you watching, please put in the comments when you did the scan, what you felt. I learnt that scan many years ago, and I still use it to this day through one of Doreen Virtue's. She had a chakra scan CD, and I used to listen to it years and years ago. I used to do it every morning, and it just used to help, just like you talk about, Tess, just scanning in where something feels a bit out and a bit off, where I feel strong, where I felt weaker, and just being able to just align it all. So I'm glad that you brought up that the scan is probably one of the easiest ways to just tune in to each one and work your way up the board. How'd you go, Jody?
Yeah, it was lovely. I definitely felt a little bit of discomfort and that in my sacral area, and it felt really good. Yeah, it's good definitely to check in and align, and just feeling that source come in and go to your heart and make it feel lighter is really just amazing to allow that to happen. And it was mainly in my sacral and even in my knee. I don't know if that's anything, Tess. So
The knee is interesting.
yeah.
Trying to run away.
Trying to run away. Oh, from a situation. Maybe.
The other thing that came to mind for me too, which when you said it was, oh, that's interesting, was the knees holding you up as well. What are you trying? Are you feeling a lot of strain or something as trying to hold you up with something as well? That was just a thought that came to mind.
Yeah. Maybe a mix of them both.
So with that awareness, so this is awareness, right? So this is a great thing. You just talk to that part of you. What's your message for me? And your intuition will tell you. And if it doesn't, as long as you're not judging it, right? As long as you're not judging it or expecting it, hey, intuition, come on, I want an answer right now. Because it's going to come in the least expected, when you're in the shower, or sometimes even when you're in front of the client and then your client kind of say, oh, Joe did that. And then you're like, oh my God, So sometimes we get answers in the least expected way, or something in the back of a box of something, a box of crackers, a box of cereal, right?
Yeah.
And train your mind to see that, oh my God, the universe is really conspiring for me to come back to wholeness, to come back to alignment, come back to soul power. It's a beautiful process once you trust yourself, and once you have that connection between, you know, yourselves, your body. Because when you're back in alignment, you know when you're not, and you want to like rush back into the, you know what I mean, Vanessa, right? You know you're miserable when you're out of alignment, when you've already have that intimacy with your energy centers.
Carol's just written the comments. So, hi, Carol. I used to scan regularly as well. I'd hop on, but I'm typing up my newsletter on energy clearing right at this point when we're here with the kids right now as I listen to you ladies. So thank you. So yeah, cool. Thanks, Carol, for joining in on us. It's funny, when I did that, I felt incredibly strong in those lower three at this moment in time. Now, bear in mind, everyone, I don't always feel incredibly strong, but those lower three, as you went through those, I was like, oh, I'm really feel strong and powerful at this moment in that area, and I have done for some time. And because, like you pointed out, Tess, when I don't, I really notice it.
Yeah, and that awareness, as long as we're not using awareness to self-flagellate, that self-awareness will turn into solutions, will turn, you know, you've got nowhere to go but recalibrate back. Otherwise you'll get more lessons. We don't want lessons anymore.
And it's funny enough, sitting here, I'm being, as we were doing that scan, I was actually thinking I'm going to go out and actually scan my horse as well. I don't know where the energy centers are in the horse, if it's the same way as it is in the human body or not. I'd love for some of our horsey people who work with horses, like Kimberly, for example, to I'll have to ask her if she happens to see this and you hear this. Please let us know if the energy centers are the same for the horse as well as it is for us in terms of those chakra energy centers, or if it's something different. But I have this feeling to go out and do my horses right now too. So that's what I'm going to do. So everyone, that's just an idea, obviously, of the scan being really useful to intuitively scan and to intuitively just tap into each of your chakras and see what you're feeling and picking up. And like Tess points out, with no judgment, it is what it is, and hopefully it leads to solutions. So I'm wondering, Jody, just on that note, if it has led to a solution for you, since you did feel that around the knees and around that sacral one.
I suppose it takes a bit more thinking, I think, to come through with that, because I know what that situation is.
Yeah, it's coming at a time, like Tess pointed out. My insights tend to come. I threw you on the spot too, and that's
that's okay.
My insights tend to come actually when I go off on my walks. It's that walk that the stuff seems to come through for me. That's my cracker box, the walk.
Right.
I like to walk too without the earbuds and all that sort of thing. I like to definitely just take nature in as I'm going for my walk.
I never walk with the music or anything like that.
No.
My walk is about being really in tune with myself and with the nature around me. I actually, complete opposite. I can't handle having the buds in or anything like that. Will not have them. So thank you so much, Tess. This is another Soul Powered Conversation. Tess joins us several times throughout the month, and we'll have these Soul Powered Conversations. I really like the fact that we were able to Jody, you just popped on and joined us. So I think that's something we'll do continuously, Tess, kind of like a little mini clubhouse type of thing. So we'll always provide the Zoom link for anyone listening, and if you want to come in and join in on the conversations, or as I said, you can do what Carol has done and just be there joining us in from the other side, of course, and use the comments as well. Now, Tess has got, and I might just give you to give us a little brief explanation about the Soul Powered Chakra program that you have got coming up very soon, that I am doing as well. I know Jill is doing it as well with you. That will be closing very soon, anyone. So if you are interested in working much, much further on each of those chakras, I'm pretty sure that Tess is dealing with one chakra each week to help you really look into it, find out what it's all about, what it governs, and all the rest of it with the course with Tess. So I have put the link there. Fly by bird again. I have put the link there here with the video. So please go check it out. If you want to join, I suggest you hop onto it pretty soon because Tess will be closing it, because I think it's starting next week or the week after, Tess.
Next week on the 22nd.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and if again the chakras are not woo-woo, it's really part of our makeup, right? It's our energy centers. So if our energy is out of whack, chances are one or many of the chakras are working too hard or blocked off. Okay, so we're not letting energy in or we're not letting energy out. Or it's working so hard that it's draining our energy.
Yeah.
And when our energy is draining, or when we're blocked off, you can feel it. And then how are you trusting the world if you're blocked off? How do you feel the universe actually serving you and supporting you? How do you feel the nurturing from the earth when you closed off and blocked off? So that's what we're going to talk about in the 7-week journey back to wholeness. It's live with me every week, and we're going to go one by one, chakra by chakra, and looking at habitual patterns. Why do we keep, okay, we're going to scan the chakras all, 365 days, but if you keep doing the same behavior that has you giving up your power and self-abandoning and shaming yourself and all that, you're going to be back, doing the same patterns. You're going to be back not trusting your intuition. You're going to be back blocking off relationships. You're going to be back not communicating your truth. And if you're not communicating your truth, what are you creating? More separation, more chaos, more proof that your world, that you're playing small, right? It's like it's giving us back what we are not showing up for, right? If you're limited, if you're out of alignment, then what are we going to experience? Lack, limitation, separation, chaos, right? So we want to return back to oneness. We want to return back to wholeness. And the journey back to wholeness is really clearing our vibrational alignment and coming back to center. It's simple, but it means getting to know why you're behaving the way you're behaving. What needs are you meeting when you do that? And then how can you serve your needs at a much higher level so that you are allowing everyone, all of creation, to actually serve you?
So
really simple.
Yeah. What you'll be doing if you join Tess on the soul power chakra journey with her in that course, the 7 weeks, looking at that one chakra at a time. I'm really, really looking forward to it, to be honest. As soon as you said you were going to do that, I was like, yep, I'm in. And it's just because it's just an area that I love to explore on a deeper level. So I know that for many of us, we have a surface knowledge of chakras. And I think the work with you, obviously, because we're going to deal each week with one at a time, is going to really take it to a much more evolved and deeper level as well. So that's why I said yes, because even though I have some knowledge of chakras, I know that this work is going to be so much more deeper and so much more evolved. So if you would like to talk to Tess, check out the sales page. You can obviously also just reach out to Tess and ask any questions about the course, but it is starting next week. So if you do want to hop in, please get onto it as soon as possible. Thank you, Jody and Tess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was lovely. Thanks for letting me join.
And everyone else, of course, you can catch Tess and I having soul-powered conversations. And as I said, you can now come and join us as well as Jody did today, which was lovely to have you on board here, Jody. Oh, she's gone. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll be soon. Remember to catch up with Tess. Click the link and check out about the soul-powered chakra course with Tess. This is the sort of work you'll get in the course, really, really dive into each of those energy centers and how it's affecting you in your life and as a coach and change maker as well. Very important. Bye for now.